Hi everyone, I think we may get started. Thank you for coming to the Apple Foundation Program UTS Graduation Day. I'd like to start by acknowledging the Gadigal people of Eora Nation, upon whose ancestral land our city campus now stands. I also would like to pay respect to their elders, both past and present, and acknowledge them as the traditional custodians of knowledge for this land. I'm very pleased to be here with you today on this special day, the graduation day of our Apple Foundation Program students. Apple Foundation Program UTS is a joint initiative between Apple and UTS, aiming to provide a challenge-based learning environment for students where they can develop design thinking, coding, team collaboration, and storytelling skills to address a real-world problem. This is also a special cohort in partnership with UTS Startups. We have a few UTS Startup members as well as guiding resources from UTS Startup teams. Navid and Tim, they were the first time they were part of our cohort guiding student teams and sharing their insights. Their expertise were particularly, I think, useful because we had a special team around health and healthcare. Our program is a 3-week intensive program guided by our mentors. I first would like to thank our mentor team, including Seb, Hiba, Firaz, Awi, and Noah, and Shivam, for working hard to guide our students in this challenging journey. I would like to also thank Apple team for their ongoing support, as well as Faculty of Engineering and IT, School of Computer Science, and UTS Startups for their ongoing support. Have I missed anyone? No, all right. So, yeah, I think this was this was really a special cohort, and we are very pleased and excited to share their students' works and projects. And I would like to finally congratulate all our students for successfully completing their projects. And we really hope this program will open up new possibilities in their future. And they are now part of a Foundation Program UTS alumni network, and they will get continuing support in their future steps. Congratulations.
It's so lovely to see everyone here today to celebrate the UTS Startups cohort and all the achievements that this cohort has done and the incredible apps that you've created just in 3 weeks. So without further ado, we're going to get into the exciting stuff. So we're going to start the presentations now. So can our first group come up to the stage and we'll start presentations.
Hello everyone, we're Team i5 Pro. My name is Ina.
I'm Peter.
But actually, our names won't matter for the next few minutes because we won't be ourselves. So from now on, let's step into the story. Are you ready? Yeah, let's get started. Meet Joy. She's a 22-year-old student juggling uni, part-time work, and an internship. She hasn't slept properly for days, with deadlines to meet, expectations to match, and problems constantly piling up. And she's right at the edge, just like many professionals today. In fact, 52% of Gen Z professionals have experienced burnout.
Joy, I'm telling you, we can't eat in the road. That's right away.
And this is amygdala, the emotional alarm system of our brain. It reacts instantly, unconsciously, and it pushes us toward impulsive behaviors.
Hey, I review a project and I need to be honest. This is shit. I want to see the improvements by tomorrow. So please work efficiently. Okay?
What? Oh, tomorrow is it free?
No, quit the job. Bro, is that not the way? It's something.
When the amygdala is in control, emotions can overwhelm us. It becomes hard to slow down, hard to think. And when those emotions keep stacking up without regulation, it leads to burnout. But there is a simple and powerful way to calm this amygdala.
Hi, Joe, is this one actually? What do you mean? She's angry, don't you see?
No, wait. Actually, think about it. How are you feeling?
And this is the prefrontal cortex, our thinking and logical part of the brain. When we try to recognize our emotion, it wakes up and the emotional alarm finally quiets down.
So maybe it's just not anger. Getting blamed after all that hard work, of course you feel this habit.
That's right.
And you haven't slept for days to it. Of course you're feeling exhausted. And with everything else, tomorrow, maybe you also feel pressure or maybe even overwhelmed.
Neuroscience shows that simply trying to name exact emotions like this can help us control our emotions, even before we try to feel better. That is the moment we can start to think clearly and decide how to react. And this is exactly what our app, Lumo, is trying to do.
Okay, so that's me. Hi, guys, I'm Lumo. I help young people to recognize their emotions. Sorry, my jacket. Okay, so I help young people recognize their emotion inside a 2D emotional universe. Like this, we got the energy level and the pleasantness. So inside this space, you can navigate 196 different emotions. You can understand what each one means and select the ones that match you the most. And the set of the emotion you select gonna be a flowing but colorful bubbles like this one that help you face them, recognize them, and even release them.
So what do you think? There is an old saying, emotions are just visitors. Let them come and let them go. We can't stop emotion from arriving, but we can choose how to meet them. Recognition is a key to make that possible, and Lumo helps this in the most simple and beautiful way. Thank you for listening. See you in the showcase later. Our table is over there.
Come to our table.
So, care with clarity every day. So, good afternoon, everyone. We are Team KISS, and let me introduce you to our team. I'm Shannon. This is Ellie. This is JJ. This is Alessandro, and this is Dora. So, we're going to start off this presentation with a little story.
Dad, I'm going through these discharge forms and I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed. So there's a new medication that you're supposed to be taking tonight. Do you know what that's called? Also, hold on, am I supposed to weigh you now or am I supposed to weigh you in the morning? Hold on, wait. Also, who am I supposed to speak to, like if I've got a problem?
I thought you knew. I don't want to come back to the hospital.
Yeah, I don't want you going back into the hospital either. I'm just really overwhelmed.
Now, coming back serious, what you have just saw is what exactly thousands of carers experience every single day. So now, let me ask you a question. If someone you love were discharged now from the hospital, would you know what to do next? Would you know the next steps? Most carers don't. And this is exactly what they experience every single day. Thousands of papers, discharge documentation, medication, treatments. They feel stressed, they feel overwhelmed, they feel anxious.
So basically, we did a lot of research and we actually found that the heart failure reality in Australia. So we actually found that 1 in 4 patients actually return to hospital within 30 days. And that actually costs our country and our system $140 million a year. So we found that actually all these admissions are actually preventable. And it causes a lot of chaos. It causes a lot of stress on our system, and carers are constantly feeling incredibly overwhelmed. So what we discovered when we spoke to our carers, a lot of them just said, I'm worried. What do I do? How am I supposed to manage all this alone? What do I do when I come home? How do I sort this out? I'm scared. So all this actually helped us build our solution.
So what we built, so it's a 30-day support app for help failure carers. So we have 3 main principles: no overwhelm, so no word of text, just simple checklist and simple languages. Just clarity is our main purpose. So the carer know what to do next. And then no AI, because no one trusts AI to suggest you about like the serious symptoms.
So here's what Liz Care look in action. We have daily plan, handbook, emergency guidance. Every feature support a really simple rhythm: acknowledge, act, and escalate when needed.
So with our app, hospitals will expect fewer readmissions, which can save millions of dollars every year. And carers will feel supported, not overwhelmed, more confident. And because there's fewer readmissions, hospital teams will have more capacities to care for others. In the end, our app creates safer patients, calmer carers, and a stronger health system. So this is a Link Care, an app that empowers family carers with clear, real-time insights into patients' recovery. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. We are the Well Dev team. And I am Eric. Today, we would like to start by asking you to take a second and just reflect how you are feeling. Now, literally, you can close your eyes, have a second. How are you feeling today? Maybe this week? Maybe this month? Now, how many of you actually thought that you are feeling apathetic? That's the word that came to your mind. How many of you thought, well, I'm actually feeling inquisitive? Most of adults actually think that we are self-aware. Yet, now, as a reminder, what is self-aware? It's about us having conscious knowledge of our own feelings. Yet research shows that only about 10 to 15% of adults are genuinely self-aware. And when we did our research and asked some of the psychologists out there, they said that by understanding our feelings and the triggers, we can manage them more effectively rather than being controlled by them.
There are many great digital tools that help us understand, express, and regulate our emotions. It left us wondering, how can we begin nurturing children's understanding of feelings from an early age? More specifically, our little learners whose brains are still developing. Research shows that at this age, children are in a major phase of growth, building the early skills that will support their future emotional understanding, social connections, and ability to self-regulate. What this essentially means is that they're still learning about big emotions. And research shows that they may not have the word to explain their feelings and need adults to help them understand what they're experiencing. Further into our research, we found that linguistic input that includes emotion or mental state language helps early social and emotional learning, essentially meaning that children hearing richer emotional vocabularies show stronger development of these skills.
And while there are many digital tools designed for young children, we didn't find any that help them develop emotional literacy. That's why we developed Pick a Feel. Now, Pick a Feel helps little kids recognize what they're feeling, guides them to express those feelings in healthy, age-appropriate ways, builds stronger, more confident communication between children and others who support them.
So how does Pick a Feel work? The first thing is that children will be able to identify their emotions or feelings. Then they will be able to record why they feel this way to help verbalize their emotions, and we use AI to give them positive personalized reinforcement. We also have a mood tracker for parents to see how their child is feeling over a period of time. The last thing is we use AI to analyze patterns and trends in a child's feelings so they can generate a report and understand why their children are feeling a certain way.
So where do we go next? With some slight improvement and more input from professionals, we see Picafeel getting integrated with educators in every early childhood centers around the world. Parents can confidently help with the development and nurture their child's social and emotional literacy. And healthcare practitioners get to integrate this into their sessions seamlessly to cater to every children with different abilities. So let's identify how we feel regardless of our age. Thank you.
No. Yes. Hello, we are the Kiwi Cuties, otherwise known as Cindy, Hetty, Stanley, me, which is Angela, and Callum, and our app is FitSap. FitSap is a fitness step tracker that translates your step count into growing a tree. Made for busy young professionals who can't find the motivation to work out, whether due to work or whatever, our app aims to take the focus away from the actual exercise portion of it and to make them focus on nurturing and taking care of a tree, like a Tamagotchi. Who here in this audience wants to exercise but can't because they're too busy with work or uni or whatever? Like, put your hands up. Oh wow, a lot of you. See, exactly, this is our primary issue that we're tackling, a lack of motivation and a lack of time. Now, I'm passing to my friend Callum.
Yeah, so from our research, we found that less than 1/3 of Australian young adults reach the minimum threshold for weekly exercise. And after conducting our interviews, we found that this was due to the transition to a more busy work schedule from the transition to high school to university and into the workforce. And as a result of this, it gives them less time and less motivation outside of their schedules to spend doing exercise as opposed to easier activities like scrolling social media, relaxing, and all of that. And with this being such a serious issue with the health in our community, Cindy will expand a bit on our design process in solving this issue.
Thank you. So we mainly focus on two key findings. So the first one is recommendations from WHO, which is like working actually is a simple and effective way for people to stay active and healthy. And the second key finding actually is the psychology behind habit building. So attaching a challenging activity to a simple and fun one actually can increase the likelihood of forming these new habits. So let's come to our main app ideas.
So from all this, all of the ideas and all our research, our solution is based on how motivation doesn't just come from data, it also comes from delight. The idea of how you can see your steps through growing your own tree.
We've tried to design an app that aims to remind you, motivate you, and accompany you in your exercise journey, with visualization of your walking progress on an Apple Watch as your exercise translates to growth of your own personal tree.
Our app shows user progress through a growing tree, making movement visual, rewarding, and motivated.
You also get to customize your own tree as well, whether that be a maple tree, a pine tree, but it's all locked under a price. So if you don't, you gotta work for it. If you don't work for it, then you don't, yep.
So that's our app. Now go grow your tree with Step. Remember? The more you walk, the less your tree looks like a broccoli.
Hi, everyone. So we're Team Timothy Chalamet. My name is Kenneth.
My name is Jason. Ashia.
Rudanki. And I'm Emily.
And we're here to talk about our app, Lumora. So before we start, I'm going to ask you a quick question. Who here goes on their phone and doom scrolls before they go to sleep? Raise your hand. Yeah, so a lot of us. And who here, because of that, or just in general, gets anxious and then has too many thoughts in their mind and then they can't sleep? Yeah, so a lot of us.
Yeah, that's basically most of us, right? And that's where the real problem starts. So we looked at why this really happens, and the reason is when we're trying to go to bed, we all want to fall asleep, but our brain doesn't let us fall asleep. We identified the problem. So we looked at which people struggle with this the most. Anxious people, anxious sleepers. If you're an anxious sleeper, that's a routine. Those thoughts come into your mind and it's a cycle. But what if you're not an anxious person? Do these thoughts also affect you? We looked at it and saw that, So when you go to bed, it's the only time that brain has time to process all those thoughts. And we look at, for example, the things that we haven't done today, and those leads to anxiety, like, oh my God, I missed this thing. So also the people who aren't anxious, these also affect us. So we looked at what others are doing, other apps are doing to help with this. We saw that they block the thoughts. They're not helping to process them. So that was the major problem. But we looked at, okay, so what can we do to help the processing of these? We listened to experts. Their suggestion was journaling. And I want to ask, ladies and gentlemen, what's the problem with journaling? Do you guys journal before bed? Any of us? No? No. But what's the problem? Even if you do journal, it's also a task. Sometimes you just want to go to bed and fall asleep. So we came up with the idea of processing these thoughts. So Emily, break it down.
So in our research, we found that 70 to 80% of people with anxiety have significant insomnia symptoms. We also found that the relationship between insomnia and anxiety are bidirectional. So if you have bad sleep, it will worsen your anxiety. And if you have anxiety, it will make it difficult for you to fall asleep.
During our research, we also discovered that journaling is a great way to empty your mind before sleeping, and which will eventually help you sleep better. We also found that talking is a part of CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And so talking your mind out can actually help you structure your mind in an unfiltered way, which is not possible with writing. So through our app Lumora, we try to combine these two.
And so, introducing our app, Lumora. Lumora has three main features. First, the main feature is to speak out your thoughts. You can speak to Lumora, you can talk about your day, organize your thoughts. This helps you relax and get you ready to sleep. Next, you can see all your previous entries, all the completed transcript with also Lumora will summarize what stuff you talk about that day. And then lastly, we have also an insights page, which contains everything you talked about throughout the week, your mood. There's also like a streak counter. If you journal that day, it's going to go up, and that's our app.
So basically, in a nutshell, Lumora is a sleep companion that will help you process your thoughts. You're just going to put your phone away next to you, talk to it, helps to process your thoughts, and you get immediate results with it. And next day, you have all your thoughts and all your entries saved that you can go and look back. Yeah, that's us. We will also have a waitlist if you guys want to sign up later.
Hello, everyone. We are Team LMBB, and we are presenting by Talk. First of all, we introduce our team. I'm Eric, Leon, Ray, Inyo, and finally, Gina. 659 million 659 billion is the expenditure on care for people with chronic disease. Huge number, or not, Seb? 1 in 2 people, so either me, either you, Leon, have at least one chronic condition here in Australia. And there is a huge problem with this. You probably know already diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and these are caused by 2 main factors. One of these is genetics, and we cannot tackle them, and the other one is diet. So we try to tackle diet. Inyo, please dive into.
Okay, let's meet David. David is a busy student. David is trying to keep up with his school life. He's busy, so busy, and he wants to stay fit. Also, he wants to have a balanced diet, and it's quite hard to have a balanced diet because there are too many information about nutrients. So, also he wants to stay fit. It's quite hard to get fit, and he wants to stay. Sorry. Also, he already sees no changes in his body. So he's always frustrated, tired, and ready to give up.
So based on our research on chronic disease and our lovely chubby friend David, we come up with our problem statement, which is how can we help busy students make informed decisions about their diet? We want to help people like David to know what food they consume, so they would be able to avoid the chronic disease later in his life. And that's why we create our baby by Talk, the app that informs you about food you eat while you eat. I'll pass into Leon.
Beautiful. Who here uses their phone when you eat? Raise your hand if you, exactly. It's so simple. Any one of you could do it, right? All David has to do is to get his food, snap a photo, and plug in. From there, ByteTalk will do everything, including providing a 3-minute summary of the nutritional impact of his food. 3 minutes a meal, that's 9 minutes a day, 1 hour in a week. By the end of the month, our dearest David will be a master of micro and macronutrients.
Okay. So currently, our gonna focus on providing accessible and getting food information tips. But if we have purposes in the future, we want to add some more features like a personal recommendation, like a user profile, and second, food general analysis with data origin, multi-language voice, and last, we want to add the community sharing feature. So that's all from us. Let's work together, and thanks for your time. Okay.
Thank you so much to our incredible learners. Those presentations were really engaging, really fun. Can we have one final round of applause for all our learners? Okay, so we're going to switch it up a bit now. So our learners are going to be standing in the tables at the back, so it's going to be a bit more of a showcase space. So if you want to walk over to their tables, ask them questions, how was their learning experience, what new skills did they learn, things like that. So it's your time now to ask them those tailored questions and then also try out their apps as well. Thank you so much, and feel free to go and speak to the teams.